Interview with Calum McIntyre. Well, Calum, your thoughts on a disappointing game in the end for your side?
Disappointing result. Pleased with the performance on the whole. I say we've created more chances, and I mean clear-cut chances, not half opportunities. Opportunities to work their goalkeeper, opportunities one-on-one in and around the box. Probably more there in a 90-minute period than we have in the previous two games combined. And look, we've looked good in attacking areas. So really disappointing result and a sickener. What a goal from the lad, by the way. But coming late in the game. But in terms of our performance, and I wanted to improve. I thought we looked good, but ultimately it's the results, isn't it? I'm not naive enough to realise that.
I was going to say we created plenty of chances, didn't we? It just was one of those nights where unfortunately they didn't go in for us.
Yeah, and it's just about taking care of that stuff, isn't it? That created opportunities, different type of opportunities. One from a free kick in the first half. Balls down the side. Duds gets in 1v1. Cole Hall gets in 1v1. Kurt gets in 1v1 in the second half. Ball gets pulled back across the box late in the second half. So really pleased in that respect, because you've got to realise you don't just get given your chance at the beginning of the game. You have to work very hard, particularly two good teams out there. Both play a particular type of football that probably meant for a decent game. But for our part, we would be disappointed, like you say, to have not taken one of them chances. And we've just got to get over it very quickly.
And you talk about the chances, but did you feel your side should have had a penalty in the first half?
Don't know until I watch it back. I'd rather reflect on the two things: disappointment about the result and positivity around performance. That we've dominated the game in terms of possession and territory. We've done it in a particular way that we want to, and that's what we want to be. And we haven't got anything to show for it. Now, if that happens week after week after week, that's not going to be all right, is it? But this evening might just be one of those evenings where you need to reflect on real positives in terms of performance and actually go, what more can do a little bit differently? It is about putting the ball in the back of the net. So can analyse, reflect, discuss decisions. The reality is, played very well on the whole. I think they'd have been happy with the point, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. I think the way the game was heading towards the end, and then something like that happens at the other end where you get punished for not taking your chances. On another day, maybe you don't. So important to reflect the real disappointment, because I tell you what, I've not missed this feeling. Not missed the feeling of losing a game, and it's not something that I intend to feel very often. So there's learned experiences, loads of positives to reflect on, and the nature of this league is Saturday, Tuesday. We're going to be right back at it on Saturday.
Is there anything you could have done about the goal, or is it just one of those freak strikes?
I won't say a freak strike, it's a great strike. I would say we've had to concede a little bit of territory there when the diagonal balls come over. Possibly not got set up quite right underneath the ball to land on that. The ball gets swung around, the ball gets swung back around, and ultimately you concede in territory, and you're almost daring a centre half. That's the reality. Is a centre half going to step on and hit it? Well, yes he is, and he's going to hit it like that. In the same way, you can set up that way and the ball might have flown over the stand. So credit to him for the finish. But yeah, a little bit, we'll look at it back as to how we ended up in that position. I would say it's from the diagonal ball right in front of me. But I stand by it, creating chances, work with the ball, limited them to one chance in the first half. So congratulate them on what they've been able to get out of the game, but reflect the real positivity that we've been able to dictate against a really good side at home, put on the type of performance that we'd want, not getting anything to show for it. I'm well aware how important it is that we get those results. I'm really frustrated that it's a late goal. I'm fed up of feeling like I see it about same old Chester late goals. I get it, and what I've got to do is make sure that can't be said. Same old Chester needs to be, Chester have won 3-0 at home again. Chester have scored in the 91st minute away from home. We'll do that, and we'll do that together. So we'll look at what we did, but in the same way we'll look at what we did well, reflect and then go again, because Saturday's going to come around very quick.
And even though the goal came on 85 minutes, you still had 5 minutes left, and the lads didn't let the heads drop, did they? They went again and created two good chances that could have saw you get an equalise.
It just felt tonight it might have been not so much a big moment, but a big opportunity. Whether that was back-to-back, so that was two home games, thought the crowd were absolutely brilliant again, just to cement something, and I felt like we did enough in terms of a performance. Defended our box really well between the boxes, but it is that bit around putting the ball in the net that ultimately makes the big difference. So did let their heads drop, but they shouldn't. They should be quite pleased with the performance, reflect with disappointment to have not got more from it, and just ask why, whether that is to concede the goal or to have not put the ball in the back of the net. So just real disappointment, because losing is, like I say, it's been a while. This is the first one this season that we've had. I hope it's the last. I don't think it will be, statistically, that if you go through the season only losing one game, wow, what a campaign that would be. Horrendous feeling, but Saturday's going to come around very, very quickly. And one thing I've learned, probably more in the last 2 years, is that on Saturday I wasn't running around the stadium, I wasn't banging drums, I wasn't proclaiming we're going to be this and that. I was really pleased with the performance. Tonight I'm really disappointed with the result, really pleased with the performance, and actually we'll try and be quite stable, quite consistent with how we feel about stuff.
And now obviously we need to respond on Saturday against the Peterborough Sports side who've started the season well, haven't they?
Yeah, and I think the positive for us that we'll get some bodies back. That is, never make excuses, because like I say, you can't look for excuses when you've played well. I just think you started to see perhaps in the last 10 minutes or so a group that's been flogged a little bit of having to use the same players pretty relentlessly for the final 10 days of pre-season, and then during the season not being able to quite get through the work we might want, because we're patching people up going again. So the opportunity to get some fresh bodies, not so much different options, because I've been pleased with all 3 performances, but by the same token, I think you could see that if you're at the game, that might just do us the world of good to get 3 back for Saturday. And look, we'll move on with real excitement to try and continue what's now been a decent start. It was a potentially good start after the Alfred game. It was a really good start on Saturday. Now it's a decent start, 4 from 3 games. Let's try and make it an even better start in terms of the opening 4 after the Peterborough game on Saturday.
And you had injuries to deal with today, as you say, but also Adam Thomas missed the game due to the fact that his wife's just about to give birth if she hasn't already. Do you expect him to be back for Saturday?
Yeah, look, massive congratulations. Really likeable member of the group. The right thing, family first. All the players that walk through the door with us, will always treat them as people, and it was the right thing to do. So really, really pleased, and pass my congratulations on to sort of Adam and his family. So yeah, hopefully get him back Saturday. Looking at a couple of options across the back line that we might get back, and potentially one further forward as well. So enthused by that, but let's not make this about injuries. We've played very, very well, not got the result that we would have wanted, and like I say, the team that was put out there was just a very, very strong team. So it's important that we don't. I can almost be guilty of that as well, of looking for things to try and defend stuff. Nothing to defend other than a disappointing result, but pleased with the performance, the manner of it. Frustrated we haven't put the ball in the net.
Calum, good luck tonight.
Brilliant, thank you.